Okay, now let's move to a base that's a little more difficult, and let's talk about base 12. Okay, so base 12 has the digits, excuse me, it has 12 digits. So think about the base 10 numeration system. We have 0 through 9, that's 10 digits. So how do we do with 12? Alright, so basically let's think what we need. We need 0, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Okay, now think about when we had base 5, it was 0 through 4. So I wrote down all my numbers that I needed, or in other words, I needed to represent. Now, notice that these are double digits. Well, if we placed a 1 and a 0 in, I've already got 1 and 0 represented. So I have to come up with a way to show this. Now, books do different things. Okay, 10 starts with a T, 11 starts with an E. Okay, so you can use TE, and you can also use AB. Some books use ABCs, and just you're using the digits here, and then when you get to double digit things, you represent with beginning with the alphabet with the AB. Doesn't matter what you use, it just matters that you understand what that means. Okay, so let's talk about the number 31 base 10, and we're going to convert it to base 12. Okay, so let's think about our bases. 12 to the 0 power, 12 to the first power, 12 to the second power. Okay, 12 to the 0 is still 1. 12 to the first power is 12. 12 to the second power is 144. Okay, so let's write down the number 31. And we're going to divide. So it won't divide by 144, but it does divide by 12. And that is 12 to the first power. Alright, so 12 into 31 goes 2 times. And 2 times 12 is 24. And then subtract and get 7. So your remainder is 7. Then we're going to divide by 7. So we're going to divide 7 by a power of 12. And it would be 1, which is 12 to the 0 power. Alright, so 1 into 7 is 7. 7 times 1 is 7. Remainder 0. Okay, so 12 to the first power, or 12 to the 0 power, 12 to the first power. Alright, so I have 12 to the 0 is 7. 12 to the first power is 2. So 31 base 10 equals 27 base 12. Okay, now let's double check it. Let's go backwards. So I start out with 12 to the first power, because that's what it is, times 2, and then 12 to the 0 power, and I've got that times 7. So 2 times 12 to the first power is 12, which is 24. Okay, I have 7 times 12 to the 0 is 1, so that's 7. Then add those together, and 24 and 7 is 31. So indeed, 27 base 12 really is 31 base 10. Now, this one was relatively simple because I didn't have any of these extra digits up here. Okay, so let's do one that's just a little bit more complicated. Alright, let's try 129 base 10 to base 12. Okay, so let's start out with our 129 dividing by our powers. So base 12 again, let's make our table. 12 to the 0 is 1, 12 12 to the first is 12. 12 to the second is 144. Okay? So then I'm going to take and I'm going to divide this by 12 because 144 won't go. So when I divide that, that's actually 12 to the first power. It goes 10 times. Actually do the division process. 12 into 12 goes 1. Bring down your 9. 12 into 9 won't go. So 0 times 12 is 0. So I have remainder 9. Alright, then I take my 9 and divide it by 1, which is 12 to the 0 power. So 1 into 9 is 9. 1 times 9 is 9. Subtract and get 0, remainder. So when I write my digits down, I have 12 to the 0 power, 12 to the first power. So 12 to the 0 power is not a problem. It's 9. 12 to the first power is 10. So if I wrote down 109 base 12, it's going to look a little bit different than it needs to. So I have to use that number, or that digit rather, that I represented as 10. Okay? So for 10 then, I'm going to, instead of writing 10, I'm going to call it 10A. Okay, so really then, this would be an A. So 129 base 10 equals A9 base 12. Now, if you use the E, it would be, E's and T's, it would be T9 base 12. Same thing. Now, let's go double check and go and do the conversion backwards. So, in order to get this then, I have, it's A times 12 to the first and 9 times 12 to the 0. So A is really 10. So 10 times 12 is 120. And 9 times 1 is 9. And when I add those up, I do indeed get 129, which is what I should have gotten. Okay? Now, let's, here, that's gone bled through there, so let's go on down. Now let's pause the video here, and let's have you all convert 2,000 base 10 to base 12. Okay? So pause your video and work that. Okay, did you get 1,1T8 base 12? Or if you use the other system that we had with the A's and B's, T represents 10, so you might have gotten 11A8 base 12. All the same thing. Alright, let's do the math and see if we can get it. Alright, so we have the number 2,000. So we're going to be dividing. So over here, we're going to need bigger numbers now than we've used before. So 12 to the 0 is 1. 12 to the first power is 12. 12 to the second power is 49. 12 to the third power is 1,000. Oh, 12 to... oh, it's been a long evening. 12 to... See, now, if you all were in the classroom live, somebody would reckon isn't 49. It's 144. And then 12 to the third power is 144 times 12, or 1,728. Okay? So, which of these goes into this? So that would be the 12 to the third. So we're going to divide 1,728 which is 12 to the third power, into 2,000. And it's going to go one time because you're only going to be left with about 300. Well, actually, not quite that. So we'll multiply that then, and then subtract, and you're going to get 272 remainder. Okay, then we're going to take 272 and we're going to divide that by 144. And this is 12 to the second. So 144 goes into 272 one time, and then subtract and get 128 remainder. Okay, so now we're going to take 128 and we're going to divide that by 12. So 12 into 128. 12 into 12 goes 1. Bring down your 8. 12 into 8 goes 0. So you have remainder of 8. And that would be 12 to the first power. Okay? Then we also have 8 divided by 1, okay, which is 12 to the 0. So 1 times 8 is 8, and we have 0 remainder. So now we have 12 to the 0 power, 12 to the first, 12 to the second, and 12 to the third. So if I fill in my digits, then I have 12 to the third power is 1, 12 to the second power is 1, 12 to the first power is 10, 12 to the 0 power is 8. So I'm going to convert this. This is the 10, which would either be the T or the A, whichever you want to do. So it's really 1188 base 12. Okay? Then you do backwards to convert. So we really have this up here. So we have 12 to the third times 1, 12 to the second times 1, 12 to the first times A or 10. See, that's why I always write it out this way and then do the conversion, because then when I'm checking it, I have my numbers ready right there. And then 12 to the 0 times 8. Okay, so 12 to the third is 1,728 times 1 is just 1,728. 12 to the second is 144 times 1, which is just 144. 12 to the first is 12 times 10, which is 120. And then 12 to the 0 is 1 times 8, which is just 8. And when I add all those up, 8 and 8 is 16, and 4 is 20. Then I have 2, 4, 8, and 2 is 10. And then 7, 8, 9, 10. Carry your 1, and I have 2,000. So it indeed is 2,000 base 10. And there we have base 12 simplified.